Hello and welcome back to Unfiltered Reflections, the podcast where we dive into the intricacies of the human experience. I'm your host, Passion, and today we're going to be exploring a truly fascinating and perhaps a little unsettling experiment. An experiment involving monkeys, a banana, and a hose. This isn't just a cute animal story, folks. This experiment, often referred to simply as the monkey experiment, unveils a powerful phenomenon known as social conditioning, and its implications for us as humans are profound. It really makes you think, doesn't it? So grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and let's unravel the details of this captivating study. To understand the impact of social conditioning, we first need to understand the experiment itself. Imagine, if you will, a room. Inside this room, there are 5 monkeys. Now, suspended from the ceiling, just tantalizingly out of reach, is a banana. A delicious, ripe, tempting banana. Naturally, the monkeys, being monkeys, are drawn to this prize. They try to reach it, they jump for it, they climb on each other to get closer. But here's where things get interesting and a little cruel. Every time a monkey attempts to grab the banana, a hose is turned on, drenching all the monkeys in ice-cold water. Imagine the shock, the discomfort, the sheer unpleasantness of that. So what happens? Well, the monkeys quickly learn. They learn that attempting to get banana results in a very, very unpleasant consequence. They stop trying. They avoid the banana altogether. Now, this is where the experiment gets truly intriguing. Researchers begin to replace the original monkeys, one by one, with new monkeys. These new monkeys have never experienced the icy water. They have no direct knowledge of the punishment associated with the banana. But here's the kicker. Even though they haven't experienced the water, the new monkeys quickly learn to avoid the banana as well. Why? Because the original monkeys, who have been through the icy ordeal, actively prevent the new monkeys from reaching the banana. They might hiss, they might swat, they might even attack the new monkey if it tries to approach the banana. The new monkeys, not understanding the reason behind this behavior, simply learn to avoid the banana out of fear of the other monkeys. This is social conditioning in action. The new monkeys are learning a behavior, a fear, not through direct experience, but through observing and conforming to the behavior of the group. And as the original monkeys are eventually all replaced, you end up with a room full of monkeys who are all afraid of the banana, even though none of them have ever been punished for trying to get it. It's a powerful demonstration of how social dynamics and the fear of social rejection can shape behavior, even when the underlying reason for that behavior is completely absent. So how does this monkey experiment relate to us as humans? Well, the parallels are striking. The monkey experiment serves as a powerful metaphor for human behavior on a much larger scale. Think about it. How often do we, as humans, conform to certain behaviors, beliefs, or even prejudices without ever truly understanding the reasons behind them? How often do we blindly follow the crowd, adhere to societal norms, or avoid certain actions simply because that's the way things are done, without questioning the validity or the fairness of those norms? Think about it in terms of peer pressure. How many times have you done something or avoided doing something simply because you were afraid of what other people would think? This is a very real and common phenomenon. The monkey experiment highlights how easily we can be conditioned to accept and perpetuate behaviors, even if those behaviors are illogical, harmful, or even counterproductive. In our modern world, we're constantly bombarded with information, with opinions, with narratives. We're surrounded by social media, news outlets, and a constant stream of influence. It can be incredibly difficult to filter all of that information, to discern truth from falsehood, and to form our own independent opinions. And that's where the danger lies. Because just like the monkeys in the experiment, we can become conditioned to accept certain ideas or behaviors without ever critically examining them. We can become afraid to question the status quo, to challenge the prevailing narratives, or to think for ourselves. Imagine a world where misinformation and societal pressure dictate our actions, even in the absence of objective justification. A world where critical thinking is discouraged and blind conformity is rewarded. That's a world that's ripe for manipulation, for exploitation, and for stagnation. And in a world with a growing global population, we observe an increasing number of individuals who blindly follow societal norms without questioning their validity. This can lead to a homogenization of thought, a stifling of creativity, and a diminished capacity for innovation and progress. It's a sobering thought, isn't it? Let's dive a little deeper into the modern world parallels. Think about the concept of cancel culture. Now, I'm not going to take a specific stance on cancel culture here because it's a complex issue with nuances on both sides. But consider the monkey experiment. Someone says or does something that is deemed unacceptable by a certain group. That person is then publicly shamed, ostracized, and potentially loses their job or social standing. Others, witnessing this, may become afraid to express dissenting opinions or to challenge the prevailing narrative, even if they have valid points to make. In the monkey experiment, the punishment was physical, the icy water. In our society, the punishment can be social, the loss of reputation, the isolation, the online harassment. The fear of this social punishment can be just as powerful, and it can lead to a similar outcome, conformity and the suppression of independent thought. Consider the spread of misinformation online. We're all familiar with the echo chambers and filter bubbles that can trap us in our own ideological silos. Algorithms often prioritize engagement, which means that sensational, emotionally charged content, even if it's untrue, can spread like wildfire. People see this content, they share it, they believe it, and they become increasingly resistant to any information that contradicts their pre-existing beliefs. This is a form of social conditioning, where the environment, the social media landscape, is shaping our perceptions of reality, often without us even realizing it. And the more we consume this type of content, the more we become like those monkeys, afraid to challenge the prevailing narrative, even if it's based on misinformation or outright lies. This is not to say that all societal norms are inherently bad. Many of them are essential for the functioning of a civilized society. But the key is to be aware of the potential for social conditioning, to question the things we accept as normal, and to make sure that our beliefs and behaviors are based on reason, evidence, and our own independent thinking. So, what are the implications of all of this? The monkey experiment isn't just a quirky animal anecdote. It encapsulates the dangers of societal conditioning and the potential erosion of critical thinking skills. It compels us to reflect on our own decision-making processes and challenge the influence of prevailing narratives. The monkey experiment serves as a stark reminder of our inherent susceptibility to social conditioning, but it also offers a powerful message of hope, because if we understand how social conditioning works, we can take steps to counteract its effects. First and foremost, it's crucial to cultivate critical thinking skills. Question everything. Don't blindly accept what you're told. Seek out multiple perspectives. Evaluate the evidence. Ask yourself, why? What are the underlying assumptions? What are the potential biases? Be wary of echo chambers and filter bubbles. Actively seek out information from diverse sources, even those that challenge your own beliefs. Engage in respectful dialogue with people who hold different opinions. This is how we expand our understanding and avoid becoming trapped in our own ideological silos. Secondly, it's important to be aware of your own biases. We all have them. We all have preconceived notions that shape our perceptions of the world. Recognize these biases and try to compensate for them. Be honest with yourself about your own limitations. Thirdly, cultivate a sense of intellectual humility. Be willing to admit when you're wrong. Be open to changing your mind in the face of new evidence. The ability to learn and adapt is essential for navigating the complexities of the modern world. Finally, embrace individuality. Don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to question the status quo. Don't be afraid to stand up for what you believe in, even if it means going against the crowd. It takes courage to be an independent thinker, but the rewards are immense. In a world that often pressures us to conform, to fit in, to follow the herd, it's more important than ever to retain our individuality and engage in independent thought. By doing so, we can cultivate a society that values critical thinking, resists conformity, and strives for knowledge and truth. A society where the metaphorical water spouts are turned off and the bananas are within reach, not just for a select few, but for everyone. Remember, the monkey experiment may be a captivating tale, but its implications extend far beyond the realm of primates. The lessons learned from that experiment are timeless and universal. Let us learn from the monkeys, break free from the metaphorical waterspouts, and strive for a world driven by reason, curiosity, and intellectual independence. Let's create a world where we are not afraid to question, to challenge, and to think for ourselves. Think about the potential of that. And that brings us to the end of today's episode of Unfiltered Reflections. I hope this exploration of the monkey experiment has given you some food for thought. I encourage you to do your own research, to explore these ideas further, and to reflect on how social conditioning might be affecting your own life. Thank you for listening. I look forward to our next conversation. This is Passion, signing off.